Hi friends, welcome back to Calm in the Chaos Homeschool. My name is Davine and today I'm going to be going over how we do independent work in our homeschool. So I have 4 students. I have 2 9-year-old boys, a 10-year-old girl, and a 12-year-old girl. So they are in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So I'm just going to show you how I get them to do their work more independently, as much as possible, and how I juggle the 4 kids when they are doing that part of our homeschool. So I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so this is what I do every week to plan out what my kids are going to be doing every day. So I have 2 pages Google Docs on my computer, and I just print off the basic outline, and then I just fill in the independent work for each student. So I'm going to start with I'm actually going to start with my oldest student here. So here's my oldest. Let me see if I can bring it closer here. So this is my oldest independent work for the week. So basically I have certain subjects that I need her to do more daily, I would say, though we run on I never make them do more than 4 days worth of work. We try to make the last 2 days a little lighter. If you saw my schedule video, which I will link right up here, if you saw my schedule video, you see that we're a lot busier on Thursdays and Fridays. So this is kind of what they need to do for the week. And it does not necessarily mean that they need to do all of this on Monday, all of this on Tuesday, all of this on Wednesday, and all of this on Thursday. We generally will do most of this, but then we'll carry over some to the next day, and then we'll carry over a little more to the next day, and then we will do some more on Thursday, and then we will do some stuff on Friday. We'll finish up. So it's not really day to day, but it's just how often I need them to complete that subject. And I would like them to try to get the things that are more often. I don't want them to save up 4 lessons of like Math Mammoth to the end of the week to complete. So they have to finish everything in this line before they're allowed to do things in the next line. So I hope that makes sense. All right, so some subjects I need them to do 4 times a week. So I'll have those near the top. And then this one is another math that she's doing. I'm having her do that 3 times a week. And then FC is flashcards, so she needs to do her flashcards. She's doing spelling UC, and so she does that 4 times a week. We're doing Fix-It Grammar. We spend 2 days on Fix-It Grammar, so we kind of clump. There's 4 days worth. We do 2 days each. We count each 2 days as one thing each. And then here are kind of loop subjects. So what I do is I take subjects that aren't necessarily 3 to 4 times a week. Maybe I only need to do them twice a week, or maybe once a week. And I kind of create a loop schedule for them. So I know that's a little complicated, but basically, so she has grammar, a page there, explode the code, handwriting, keyboarding, phonics, Chinese, easy grammar again, story elements, handwriting, we have a big life journal, time for math facts, and explode the code. And let me show you what the loop page looks like and how I planned that out. All right, so here is this student's loop schedule, and I kind of I planned out how often I want things to happen, and I try to make things that are a little bit different. So for example, I'll do a worksheet kind, and then keyboarding on the computer, and then the phonics and grammar. Those are kind of close, but I try to vary it a little bit so she's not doing like all the heavy stuff. Chinese we do like on Duolingo, handwriting, story elements. So I have a loop. I have figured out how many times I want things to show up. Some show up 2 times out of the whole section, and some show up once. And so that's just my planning. And then I go ahead and I pre-write all the pages that I'm going to want her to do on those days. And as I add it to her checklist, I check it off. So these are already planned ahead. I'll plan all her phonics, and then I have some on the other side too. I started planning this section here. So I'll I'll plan all the pages so that when she gets to that subject, I just copy. So I just copy on her schedule. I'll copy Chinese, easy grammar, story elements, and I'll just copy it onto her, into her loop section here. So that's what she does. So then so that was my 6th grader. And then I have my 5th grader, and they have very similar amounts of work. I actually might be a little heavier on my 5th grader because she does not have as many, well, she doesn't have learning challenges. She actually is more of a, excelling student. So she is actually a little heavier, but basically the same idea. I take what we have and I write it down in what I want her to do that week. I do want to mention that we buy the curriculum, and I usually do get more than we need. Definitely get more than we need for the year. I do tend to over purchase. So I do not force the curriculum onto my children in that we must finish every single thing. I do go and I calculate how many we should do, but I assume we're not going to finish the workbook by the end of the year. And I adjust these blank spaces based on how we're doing. So week to week, we just added IEW writing. So we had more of these blanks before where they were doing a little more in their loop subjects. I've taken them away because I'm accounting for the time that we're going to be adding to their schedule by adding IEW writing. So I judge even week by week. I might change. I try not to change that much, but as you can see, like I'm changing her math right now, and things change. Like there's a basic structure, but each week I do assess how we're doing. I do assess, like, is it too much? Did I give them too much, or is this a manageable amount? And I adjust, and I don't worry about finishing everything by the end of the year. We do at least 36 weeks in a year, but we do summer school as well. So that's where I can add a little more, or we just do year-round schooling anyways. So we just finish up. Like, for example, here I actually had her working on a certain level. Last year, it was too hard. So we went back and we got the earlier level, and now she's finishing that up, and we're jumping back to the higher level that she had started, but it was too difficult. So that's why it's kind of weird there. It goes from 36 to 10. So things like that. We're making adjustments throughout our year. I do calculations, but I don't enforce it onto my children. I have to take into account how things are going. So lots of changes, but I have a basic framework here. Okay, so next here is my fourth grade boy. So he has spelling UC. He does language arts 4 times a week. He does teaching textbooks 3 times a week because we started in the summer and they got pretty far ahead, so I don't need to do 4 a week. He does Explode the Code. He does handwriting. He does 2 little extra math worksheets. And then we alternate. Time for math packs, keyboarding. Time for math packs, Chinese. And so I don't do a loop for him. I don't have as much curriculum for him. He can't handle as much. So this is plenty. Oh yeah, and then we have silent reading here. So usually for him, we pick 6 things to do that day. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll let him pick one of the last. And then the next day we'll finish that up and add 5. And so that's how we finish that week there. And then this is my youngest. So he is in 3rd grade. So he doesn't do spelling UC because he does not need it. He's a good speller. He also has very little patience for workbooks. He's my one with autism, but he does learn things quickly. So he has a certain math, his language arts, teaching textbooks, handwriting. He's doing a little less Explode the Code because he's further ahead. And then we have keyboarding and an elective. And I took out time for math facts because he was not liking it. And we added a little bit of his morning math mammoth maths. He preferred that. So we made that change. And then he has silent reading as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you inside one of my son's binders. So I take everything out and I put it in binders so we don't have so many huge books lying around. So I'm just going to show you how I organize this. So this is my youngest son, this one here. So he gets his slip. This is this week's. He gets his slip inside of his binder, and I'm still helping the boys. So I get this out. I arranged the pages. I might put the pages we're going to do today there, just to be ready for the next day. I have his the books that he's going to be reading, so we can write the date that the date that he's reading things. This is probably actually two years worth of reading. If you've seen my group subjects one, you might know why. So some reading here that he's doing, and then I'll have like tabs so I'll take things out and I'll pull punch, and I'll put in like a few weeks at a time. I'm not going to put in a ton at a time, but I just put in just a good amount in there, maybe 4 weeks or so. So we have his language arts, and then we have his explode the code right here. And then we have we're doing Math Mammoth for him, so we have some of those in there. And his handwriting, so I just have his handwriting pages at the front so he can look at that. He actually loves handwriting, so he likes to use those in his free time for reference. And then I just have some of his handwriting pages in there, and I just refill these as needed. And for them, I do take them out each day. I just kind of look at the sheet. What do we need? And I take them out. And this week, so here's an example of another way I'm adaptable. This week, so we just ended Halloween. They had a late night on Sunday. I knew Monday would be a little rougher probably. And then my daughter has a birthday on one of the days of this week. So I just didn't want her to have to do as much work. So I just crossed out the end of the week. They were just doing, this is how much they have to do this week. And it is week 10, and I'll add that in. Probably Thanksgiving week, we won't take a whole week off. We might do 2 days of work and make that, or 1 day even, and just complete that week that some of the days we might have missed. So that's what I do. Try to be a little flexible depending on what's happening. Here's a quick look at one of my daughter's binders. So she has a lot more in here. So they have their books at the very beginning where they can write what they've read, when they read it. And then she has some English. Oh, we just finished English, so I took it out. So she has her Math Mammoth in here. She has her handwriting in here. We were finishing up some spelling from last year, so she has that on her chart. We are doing some word roots stuff here, so she has that. And then I didn't cut this book up because it was too close to if I put holes in there, you wouldn't be able to read it. So we just stuck that in a pocket. I like to get these pocket dividers so that you can do stuff like this, put stuff in there. And so the girls, I don't take anything out for them other than make sure that they have what they need in their binders. They just keep stuff in their binders. They take it out if they'd prefer to do it that way, but that's how so they just do their work. They look at their charts and they do what they need. Okay, so as far as how my students complete their work, so generally I'm sitting at the table with the boys. I'll pull out what they need to do that day. I'll have the little worksheet, the little checklist there. I kind of give them choices like, what do you want to do next? So they'll pick what they want to do. They like to start off usually with independent stuff. So something keyboarding or silent reading. So they'll go do that. And then I'll go walk over. We have our homeschool room right next to the living room. I'll walk over there where the girls have desks. And so I'll check on them and see if they need help with anything. So then they'll pull out anything that they need more help with. And then if the boys are coming back and they need more help, I'll sit at the table with them and work with them on whatever they need help with. So it's not scheduled as far as what we do when. They just have their checklist. They know what they need to complete during the period of the day that's independent work time. So they know that they need to complete whatever that is within that amount. So I'll usually give the girls, like, today you should do 6 things on their list. So then they'll decide on which 6 things they're doing, and they'll do those 6 things. And whenever I have a chance, I make sure I walk around and kind of check. If the boys are working quietly on something, I'll check on the girls and make sure that they don't need my help with anything, or they'll call out and say, Mom, I need your help. And I will either tell them, you need to wait, I'm working with the boys, or I'll be there in a minute. So I just kind of walk back and forth during that time. And that's how we do our independent work here in our homeschool. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing how we do things around here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I will answer any questions you have. And let me know if you have any more videos you would like me to do. I have some more flip throughs and reviews coming up, and I have another series planned. So just let me know if there's something else you'd like to see about our homeschool. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this from me. Thanks.